Question: could there possibly be a connection between how we fit in our budget and how we feel mentally and physically? Now, I'm no doctor, but I just want to share something with you. And I'll be back on This We Can Do It Wednesday. Back in a minute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Let me tell you something. I personally believe there could be a connection between what's in your wallet and how you mentally and physically feel. I kid you not. I notice, for example, when my stockpile is well stocked and I know that everything is in there, all the necessary items, and then plus some more, if for some reason it's just a mental boost, or like, for example, more abundant times of the month, if you will, than at others. You know what I'm saying? How is anybody else feeling like that? But I also believe that there is a definite connection with food. Now, I am no doctor. I make zero claims, and I'm only speaking about me. Hello. So, from experience of my own, I'm only speaking about myself. Let me tell you something. I noticed something. Now, this might sound really, really weird, but before I get into it, don't forget to smash down the like button and the subscribe button while you're at it, while you're in the neighborhood over there. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to hit the notification bell too so you don't miss a beat. But can I tell you something? I have noticed if I do not eat a certain amount of protein per day, I feel a little more irritable than if I did. Now, does that sound strange to some people, or does that sound reasonable? I wonder how many people out there, for example, they're on at the job, they're in the workplace. It's that time of the month which I call Tap City, okay? Those few days before paycheck time. And 60% of Americans, despite all the touting that things are so great, 60% of American families are still living paycheck to paycheck. So I don't want to hear that any other story at this moment in time. But a lot of people, I wonder, maybe even coworkers, maybe even ourselves, feel a little bit more off edge or on the edge of being in a bad mood. I am no doctor, but I know this. If a person may be hungering for protein without even realizing it, you can only live off certain things for just so much. Sometimes you hear a lot of people say they only drink, certain beverages, or they skip meals, in order to say, I'm not knocking anyone. I get it. I know why people do it. Times are challenging with money. I get that. But to say that that may not possibly play a role in how a person mentally and physically feels would be a lie. Many times, people, when it's coming closer and closer to paydays, those couple of possible struggle days with struggle meals, and you're only living like on the extremely bare bone minimum meals without even, no question about it. There are a lot of people right here who go through that, and not eating right and not resting right. Let's throw that one in for a minute. Let's not forget that. It's one thing to miss an occasional normal night's sleep. I'd say probably 100% of us at one point or another may have difficulty sleeping. Again, no doctor, I'm not making medical claims or anything of that nature, but it is common sense to think that one cannot go on forever and ever and ever living a sleep deprived life. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And a lot of people experience that. And as a direct result, a lot of people who do not get enough rest or relaxation It's going to eventually hurt them in other areas of their life. This is one of the reasons why, like on this We Can Do It Wednesday. Well, what is it that we can do? Because we're talking about things that we could do. One, pay attention to, do you find yourself more irritable at certain times of the day, evening, afternoon? You go through the afternoon slump. Now, I remember when I was working at a job many, many years ago. In fact, the uh, the company used to be in the same building where that wonderful news organization is on 47th Street here in Midtown, that transmits some very interesting and good news. Anyway, they're in Midtown, but that company, and I used to work for them years and years ago, um, not for the news company, for a different company that had to do with certified public accountants. Anyway, make a long story short, I noticed how they set up their lunch schedule for their workers. Their lunch schedule was mandatory. You get an hour between, and you could take the hour anytime you want. They were flexible about it, anywhere between 12 and 2. That meant, and this was on the honor system, that meant, for example, suppose you wanted 12 to 1 one day. You had to do things and shop in the area, for example. Or you want to take 12:30 to 1:30. Or you want to take quarter past 12 to a quarter past 1. Very, very flexible. What you couldn't do was 1:30 to 2:30. But within the 2 hours, you got your 60 minutes, which, by the way, any potential employers out there, listen to that idea. It made the workers very happy. So this was a really kind of happy place to work. And then get a load of this. Now, my favorite slot, although I had the option to take it anywhere between 12 and 2, my favorite slot was between 1 and 2. But the fun part, was that at 3 o'clock, an hour later, get a load of this. At 3 o'clock, they gave you another 15-minute coffee break. I have to say, the afternoons went rapidly at that organization. I mean, rapidly. And then it was like, wait a minute, I just got back from lunch an hour ago. Here I am back in the optional. They used to call it the canteen, I think might have been the name of that place. I'm not sure. And go grab a cup of coffee there. It was just amazing. Why am I gibbering about all this? For a reason. People were in better moods. They were treated more respectfully. I guess there had to be some sort of correlation with their diet, their drink, their beverage, maybe taking a water break, taking a walk, a stretch. And I have to say that neighborhood is well, back then it was really, really nice walking around in that area. It was really, really, it was nice. Um, Anyway, very enjoyable, lots of entertainment walking around. And there is a correlation. So the point being, on this We Can Do It Wednesday, pay a little attention to see if you feel in a worse mood or better mood at certain times of the day. When can you be more workable and perfunctory? I love that word. When are you most perfunctory? Find that out. Discover that. It can make a difference. It can make a difference in the decisions you make. It can make a difference in the time or the ways that you budget. Sit down and budget and plan where the money is going, and keeping track and increasing your income, all the good stuff. There has to be a correlation. I believe there is. That has been my experience. Perhaps you can consider your experience.